Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is the Uncensored Anime Podcast, a podcast where we talk about all things anime, uncensored, and we are your host. I am David, we got Kenny, and we got Jerry. And before we get into today's episode, I just gotta say, something amazing happened today, actually. Today of all days, I have exciting news. You are looking at the sole owner of all 19 original volumes of Vampire Knight. It is no longer a meme. No. It is no longer a dream, folks. We're living in reality. I have all the novels. So,
oh my God.
Only 32 seconds into this week's episode, Vampire Knight in the comments, everyone.
Has been mentioned, everybody.
Vampire Knight has been mentioned. Drop the timestamp in the comments. Vampire Knight is here to stay in David's collection.
Yeah, we have memed the past 28 episodes, but just want you all you listeners to know that it is no longer a meme, no longer a dream. It's reality, folks.
Reality.
So with that, that's all I got, Jerry.
He's a real fan. He's a real fan.
Take it away.
No, well, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Uncensored Anime Podcast. I hope that you guys enjoyed the last couple episodes. We were really lucky to have our good buddy AJ on last time, and now we are coming back at you with just a little bit of anime news. There's just been some interesting stuff, mainly just topics we want to talk about. This week we're going to take it slow, take it chill. We have a couple different things we just wanted to talk about. Mainly we're going to talk about the newest episode of Odd Taxi. If you're not watching Odd Taxi, I think all of us would suggest it. I also want to talk a little bit about Nagatoro because there's a specific thing that I learned about this week that I didn't know. I think it'd be interesting for us to kind of chat down about. Demon Slayer got a release date. We're going to chat about that. We're also going to talk a little bit about Shaman King because I finally wrapped it up. And then we're also going to talk about just a fun topic that I have been kind of mulling over. And we're going to wrap today's video up with a little reaction video. A little reaction video. The boys, me, Kenny, and David have been thinking, of the three of us, who can name the most anime, or the anime openings the fastest? So we saw our one of our favorite YouTubers, ProZD, posted a name that anime opening challenge. So we're going to take his challenge with him. We're going to also attempt to name the anime openings that ProZD names. So we're going to take it upon ourselves to challenge and see what happens between the three Uncensored Anime Podcast boys who could name the anime opening faster. So that's today's itinerary. It's a pretty unique episode. I know that usually we bring you reviews. We're going to hopefully have another guest on soon. I'm reaching out to some guests. So we'll have another guest coming in soon. Maybe it might be someone new to the podcast. Maybe someone new. Maybe someone a little bigger than us. You know, we'll see. But we might also have another returning guest I've been trying to book out as well. And, we'll hopefully be doing a couple more reviews coming up. We haven't seriously reviewed a show in a couple weeks. So I think we're going to try to maybe shoot back a couple shows. So if there's any anime you want to see reviewed here on the podcast, make sure you're commenting on the what is it called? The YouTube
video?
Comments. Jesus Christ. Yeah, on the video.
Video?
Wow.
Hey, on the video today?
On the video or commenting on our Instagram. Tag us. Let us know of shows that you want to see reviewed.
Get in the comments about Jerry not knowing the word video. Get in the comments.
Whether it's new or old, feel free to drop a comment and let us know what shows you want to see reviewed, because we're willing to pretty much review anything if we can watch it in a week. You know, if we can binge it in a week, we'll pretty much do it. So that means any 12 to 24, maybe even like a 50-something episode series. If you really want us to binge something hard, maybe we'll wait a week or two and kind of go through it slowly. But let us know down below. We would love to review a couple other shows for you guys. Stuff we've never seen before. So obviously, if you drop something down below and we maybe seen it, we might veto it because maybe we've all already seen it years ago, or we don't want to go revisit it, whatever it might be. But try to stump us. Try to suggest an anime we've never seen before that's completed that we could watch and do a review on. So I don't know, boys. Let's kick it off with something that we've been going on about. Demon Slayer has an official
Release date.
Well, it's not a date. It's a month, a release month. Okay. What do you guys think?
Its season has been set, so
right.
Fall 2021, baby.
Yep. Seems like it's coming in fall.
I'm excited for the new breathing types. I think that they get a little kooky at this point, because up to this point we've seen lightning, water, and fire, and beast breath.
Yeah.
And we've seen bug as well.
Yep.
From Kocho.
Yeah. Do you guys think that? So I'm assuming this is going to be another 24 episode season.
Hopefully.
Do you think this will be the final season of Demon Slayer? You think they're just going to finish it?
I think they have
two
another
more seasons.
season.
That's my guess. Yeah. I think it'll take 2 more seasons.
If they do
I
a
think-
movie for the final season, I could see it in season in a movie, maybe. So
like
this
do a full
season,
season and then do a
this
movie?
season, another season. No, three
Oh.
seasons total, 2 movies.
Is there that
two
much
more-
content left?
I've got
think
you.
so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
They're definitely. I mean, they have no reason to hold the pace back at this point. Like UFO Table
Yeah.
can just.
They can
Balls
milk
to
it
the
for
wall.
as long as they want, honestly.
It's less than 200 chapters, right? Or
Yep.
did it hit 200? I can't remember.
Um,
I feel like it's less than 200.
It's only like 22 volumes, 23 volumes.
23 volumes, so it might actually be over 200, but still, I mean, it can't be that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The series.
you can still see it in theaters.
I mean, freaking, the Shaman King, the new season or the show that's airing right now, is doing 300 chapters in 52 episodes. So it's like they could easily knock out the rest of the series in 24 episodes. I just hope they don't.
205.
I hope they don't promise Neverland it. You know? Oh yeah, 205. Okay, see a little more than 200.
I hope. But listen,
People
you guys
would
imagine
riot.
that? Could
People
you
would
imagine
riot.
what would
Demon
happen?
Slayer is a phenomenon right now. There's
if-
no way they are gonna mess it up.
What if they just slide into the finale? They just freaking write their own original ending.
No.
Demon Slayer
People
season
would-
2.
No.
Game
People
over.
would
They would never
riot.
do it, bro. The highest selling manga of all time, like what, not all time, but
Like the past
In
2
a year?
years.
Kenny, it's only 10th place of all time. Thank you very much.
just for one good year of sales. So
Yeah, I mean, it dropped. It pretty much. I think it dropped the manga sales record that will never be beat. I don't think
Yeah.
that any other manga will ever sell 88 million volumes in 1 year. Like that's just never gonna happen.
again.
Unless UFO Table picks up Candy Flurry in like 4 years. And
Oh,
Candy
Candy Crush.
Oh yeah, Candy Crush. Yeah,
Candy
Crush.
Crush.
Or
Candy Crush has 4 chapters out.
My favorite manga, Candy Crush.
I love it. Or
David's a believer. Bro.
I'm a
Listen,
believer. I'm calling it. I'm calling it. Candy Flurry is
What?
going to be the
Candy
next
I'm
big
telling you right now.
story in
Canceled,
Shonen.
dog.
It's going to be the
I've
next
read
big story.
I've read a lot of Shonen Jump mangas, and I read it consistently on a weekly basis. Whenever there's something special, like whenever I read My Hero, I was like, oh, this is something special. I remember reading the first chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen, and I was like, oh, this is really good. I need to read this. I think there was 4 chapters out then.
And you're not feeling that about Candy Crush?
I'm not feeling it about Candy Crush.
Man, I don't know.
I'm just not feeling it.
I think you might be surprised.
I think
or
Sakamoto
it might
Days
just get
would-
canceled in 10 days.
People are
Yeah.
talking
Or
about
10
Sakamoto
chapters.
Days. Sakamoto Days is holding it down. Kenny.
Sakamoto Days and Hard-Boiled Cop and
Hard-Boiled
Dolphin.
Cop and
I
Dolphin.
already know. Those ones are special, bro. You read them and you know that it's special.
But honestly, Kenny, you know which comedy is really getting the most like?
What?
And I know you hate it, but like
No,
Mashal
Don't
is
say
the one
it.
that it's all I hear
Mashal's
about. Mashal's all I hear about, bro. It's about to get published in English too.
It's
That's
not
so
even that
bad,
funny
bro.
though. It's
It's
so,
like bad One
it's so
Punch Man, bro.
basic.
I hate
Mashal
it.
is. You got to remember that most people who jump into a new series in Shonen Jump are not old readers. It's people who it's their first manga, and so they pick up Mashal, and it's more. What's the word? Not available, but it's like
easier
it's easier to just jump into, you know.
Yeah.
Fucking
And-
Mashal though, bro.
And I
hate
agree
that.
with you. I think that Hardboiled Cop and Dolphin and Sakamoto Days are such better concepts.
Yep.
But Mashal's gonna keep. It's doing.
Sakamoto Days is either going to be a phenomenon or it's going to end up getting an anime whenever it gets canceled after 50 chapters, and
Yeah.
everybody's gonna be like, "That was awesome. What the fuck?" Like,
Yeah, I could see that. Although it's tough to get. I feel like as a comedy manga and Jump, it's tough to get a good anime adaptation.
yeah, but
mean,
it
do you
has
remember-
battle elements. That's the beauty of it.
Well, do you remember Hinamaru Zumo?
Yeah,
That
that was more of a
series-
sports though.
It was like a sports comedy action, like one of the weirdest Shonen Jump titles that lasted for a long time and did not get very much recognition, and then only got a 1-season anime, I think, after like over 200 chapters or something.
Yep.
That's like one of those weird ones that to me like just it trudged along the line of like mediocrity for its whole run, and it never took off. So it just lasted a long ass time. But
is it
I
because
don't
the comedy doesn't translate well to Western audiences?
I don't know. Well, the manga itself, David, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's about sumo wrestling. So that already alone is a bit ostracizing for Western audiences, I think. Like,
Yeah.
sumo wrestling is not really a sport that we're going to get. Volleyball, American football, tennis, even to a degree. These are sports that, as Americans, I mean, basketball is obviously the most popular sports manga, and that's because basketball is huge in America. But sumo wrestling is not really. I mean, Kenny, I mean,
this thing ran
I
for
can't even
5
think
years.
of another.
Yeah.
David, it was big, and
It was like a sports manga.
This is
It was
the
like,
first time
yeah.
I've heard of it. That's crazy.
yeah,
it was like sort of Shonen Jump sports manga for a while.
it was holding it down.
Like
Yeah,
before
and
Haikyuu?
Yeah.
I think it read. Didn't it?
Or it
I
might
want
have-
to
it might-
Somewhat on the
It
same.
might have gone at
I
the
think
same
they
time.
overlapped a little bit. Yeah, they might have
Yeah.
overlapped a little bit.
Wow.
But
yeah,
Inamaru
before-
Zumo also really had a pretty strong comedy element to it. So
Huh.
it was kind of like a gag sports manga. It was very unique. But yeah, it only got one 26 episode or 13 episode season of
24
anime.
episode anime
24 episode, yeah.
by
And
Gonzo. So was
yeah.
it butchered?
I watched 2 episodes of it, and I remember thinking it was good. But I only read I think I read the first 20 or 30 chapters, and I liked where it was headed, but I just never kept going with it. You know, I started with it. I started when it was pretty short, and then I just didn't keep up with it, unfortunately. So maybe one day I'll go back to it, but it's definitely one that, it never got published in English. It was on Crunchyroll, but there's just I don't even know if there's a legal way to read it. I don't think it's on the Shonen Jump app or anything. So pretty weird.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Huh.
So Demon Slayer's back, baby. Later this year. You guys think we'll see JJK season 2 this year, or you think it's next year?
No,
Next
there's no
year.
way.
They're too busy
It's
with
just too
Chainsaw Man and Attack on Titan.
They're too busy with literally everything else.
With yeah.
Okay, did you guys? Okay, I heard a rumor today that Mappa is animating the last Bleach arc. Have you guys heard this?
No.
That's not true, right?
They should.
I have been-
They have way too much.
Once I heard that rumor, I started digging through the internet trying to find verification, but I can't find it anywhere. So I think it's just a rumor, just people saying shit, trying to speak stuff into existence. But I was about to say, if you guys had seen any confirmation, I was like, oh boy.
No. Last I've heard, there still hasn't been any confirmation on who's animating it.
Right. Kenny, what about you?
No, yeah, I haven't seen anything about
Wait,
it.
but was there recent news that
That's what I'm
is
looking at right now.
confirmed for? It's confirmed for this year, but
Supposedly, yes.
Is it
They've doubled down on it being this year.
apparently
Yeah,
this
so,
article I'm looking at is confirmed for winter 2021.
Should be soon, bro. Should be soon.
We've got to hear more details soon. So
Gotta hear more.
If
Very
it's,
weird.
I hope it's not Mappa because they're going to be stretched so thin because that's literally if it is winter 2021, which I guess would be technically winter 2022, they're going to be doing 2 other big named large scale anime at the same
Chainsaw
time.
Man, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen. Those are all going to be hitting around that.
Oh wait, no, not Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, but the movie comes out,
Shit, yeah, they're already working on the movie
Yeah.
probably right now.
which should
Yep.
I think
Chapter
it
0.
covers chapter 0. Yeah.
Yeah. Bollocks, dude. Mappa's going to be dusted. Whatever. We'll see. I don't think Mappa's doing it. I don't think.
as long
I
as
don't
they
think
hire
Mappa-
more people to cover their bases. I mean, whatever, good for them.
Not
but
wrong.
I don't think it'll be Mappa that'll do it.
I think it's a rumor. Yeah, I think it's going to be. I don't know why Piro
it's gotta
would
be.
ever.
It's
not-
gotta be Puro.
Yeah, I don't know why Piro would ever give that up. It would just be. Odd to me.
Puro, bro.
Got it. I mean, Piro's kind of the they're not great, but I mean, they'll. I feel like they'll do it.
My
Whatever.
theory is they dropped Black Clover momentarily to animate Bleach.
Bleach.
Honestly,
So-
David, that is not a bad theory. I didn't even think about that.
That's my theory.
Whoa.
Bro, is
And-
that
Puro
Code
has some
Blue?
good animation. There's some good.
No,
there's
dude,
some
this
good
is
Black Clover animation.
Voltage? Voltage?
Oh, this is good old Mountain Dew Frostbite. Pretty,
Okay.
pretty
Is that
delicious.
brand
Not
new?
sponsored.
Is that
Not
brand
sponsored.
new?
Not sponsored.
It's not brand
Not
new, but it's
sponsored.
newer. It's in the last couple months.
Not sponsored. Not
Not,
sponsored.
no Mountain Dew
Mountain
sponsors.
Dew, if you're watching this, please reach out. No, okay. So the other things I want to talk about, boys.
Yep.
I got deep down the rabbit hole this week, and I regret it. I regret it strongly.
Was it?
So- For those of you that don't know, there's a manga and anime series that's very popular right now called "Don't Toy with Me, Miss Nagatoro," and we've talked about it here on the podcast.
Ijinaide Nagatoro-san.
We've talked about it here on the podcast before,
Yep.
and it is growingly popular. Arguably, probably the most talked about anime this season.
I would say this
And-
episode was great. too.
it shouldn't be. It
And
was. The last episode was
the
pretty
manga-
good, but
This episode was great.
Anime, for those of you that don't know, it's a small relationship comedy about some high schoolers, and instead of the girl being all dowdy and lovey towards the boy she's in love with, she beats the shit out of him and teases him and fucks with him and all this stuff, and he fucking loves it.
That's not what happened.
He's a dirty, nasty boy.
Wait a
Dirty,
second.
nasty boy.
No.
To fuck with him. That's what the show's about. It is a romance, though. Romance comedy. Okay, sorry. Kenny, tell me, what's Nagatoro about?
He's just a little abrasive, okay?
He's
But
a little
that's
bitch.
okay.
Turns out she's protective of him, and she actually really likes him. And
Of course, bro.
do that to him. Whatever.
Senpai is important.
Blah, blah, blah. It's a very risingly popular series. And something that I didn't realize, I went into the series totally blind. Like, I had no idea what the series was about. I watched the first episode. I didn't like it. I have not gone back to it. I've been convincingly told over and over again I need to give it another shot. Supposedly it's a really awesome relationship drama, fun comedy, blah, blah, blah.
Don't toy me.
I wouldn't say it's awesome, but it's pretty
This
good.
season? Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's good. I'm enjoying it.
Okay. So, I was watching a YouTube video by Yazi, is her name. She is the girlfriend or fiance or wife of Mother's Basement, who's another very popular anime YouTuber. And Yazi briefly mentioned the previous works by the artist that does Nagatoro. So I was like, oh, what else did they do? So I went Googling, and I went deep down the rabbit hole, boys. Deep down the dark rabbit hole. And I will tell you now, if you are a under 18-year-old viewer of this podcast, do not Google the previous works by Nagatoro's author. The author, and I'm sure this is intentional, the name that they use on Nagatoro is Nanashi, okay? And it is a pen name that is not their real name. They used to go by a different pen name. I'm not going to mention it here so people aren't tempted to Google it, but you can find it if you really want. But I decided to go down the rabbit hole and look at some of the works that they used to do. So, NSFW disclaimer, the previous works Nagatoro's author did, all of their previous works, Nagatoro is their first normal manga ever. Everything they used to make was hentai. They only made hentai. And they made a lot of it. They made a lot of hentai, guys. And I took it upon myself this week to just read 3. I picked 3 random hentai from Nanashi's past works to check out. 3 random ones, okay? I'm not going to say the names, but I'll just tell you the very first one, which is, I think also I found out later, the first hentai they ever made, features a character that is being held up in a school shooting, and they're forced to strip in front of the rest of their classroom and do naughty things in the midst of a school shooting. It's just ridiculous. Another series I found, I don't even want to describe it because it's so dark, but there's magical girls, and let's just say there's a twisted scientist who genetically mutates human beings and pigs together. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to talk about what happens in this hentai, but magical girls and genetically mutated pig humans, okay? And this one had 3 volumes. There were 3 volumes of that one, okay? And I only read the first volume of that one. And the third one I found was a Naruto 𝐻″ doujin that they wrote. So if you know Naruto, this one was actually the most wholesome one, but it was still hentai. It was a Naruto 𝐻″ hentai doujin about their first night together after they got married. So there was some more wholesomeness in that one, but it was very much still a hentai. So yeah.
Apparently that one was famous too on the internet.
Oh yeah, that one popped off, and that also, people have said that kind of saved Nanashi's career, allowed them to pivot into real manga. So I'm not judging. Boichi used to draw hentai. You can find a lot of Boichi's old hentai on the internet. That one's too easy to find. So young viewers, do not Google. I mean, fuck. Just look up Sunken Rock. Boichi used to do Sunken Rock.
I wouldn't be surprised if Oh Great did doujins too.
Oh, I'm like 99%. I think I've actually seen some of those too. I want to say Oh Great did used to do them.
Yep.
And yes, so it's totally normal. I mean, it's whatever. It's just pornography. It's not like there's no reason why they should. But the content of some of Nagatoro's doujins and hentai are a little sus to me, guys. Like, just a little bit, right? Like,
Yeah, that sounds a little worrisome.
I like Nagatoro, and that's it. I like Nagatoro.
That's all.
Okay.
The school shooter one is like
that one's weird, right? Oh, I read it. I read the whole thing. And
No, stop. Okay, I like Nagatoro, and there is no other works.
there's nothing else.
There are no other works. I like Nagatoro. Nagatoro's good.
It is Nanashi's first work being published in like a non-18 plus magazine. So it's really cool that they were able to transition and have such a popular work of, because I guess it was started as like a digital publication and then they transitioned into being serialized and published for real. So, I mean, congratulations to Nanashi for finding a fun story to write.
Yeah, only Nagatoro exists. And that's it. And I like that. So
We're just starting off today's episode. We're 20 minutes in and we're already jamming out about hentai right now.
guys, there's this new anime that's on, and I really love it. And it's called Vampire Night. It's called Vampire Night, guys. This is the Vampire Night podcast where what we do is we talk about Vampire Night. That's what we talk about is Vampire Night here on the Vampire Night.
It's just how you transition from point to point.
Transition me for real. I thought that was the real transition to the shit we wanted to talk about. Let me wrap it up. You guys can watch Nagatoro. Everyone can watch it. I just think that it is interesting, their background, their history. And like I said, a lot of other mangaka have done it. It's whatever. But very, very interesting. I'm sure Nagatoro's fine. But
there's no school shooters. There's no,
no mutated pigman.
They were in a fun video game this week, okay?
Okay, cool. Okay, well, let's move on. What was Kenny, what was the other topic?
We want to talk about the best show that is on right now, and it's Odd Taxi. Everything has come together in this episode. Episode 7 of Odd Taxi.
Yeah, spoilers
for Odd Taxi.
Yep. Up to episode 7.
Taxi, yeah, we're going to be talking up through episode 7, so.
I looked at the screen and I finally said, I get it, right? I finally understood the animals, the Yakuza stuff, what's going on with the dude in his gacha game. He can't get the dodo bird. Now a guy's got a gun and the girl's trying to fix his brain now. All of this was confusing. Mm-hmm. But once Otakawa runs into Yano, everything made sense to me, bro. It just it all clicked. Of course, Yano raps. He raps while he speaks. That's his whole thing. And that, it made sense at that point. I was like, right, of course, the hedgehog raps. That's just a part of his being. I don't know. We just got to live with that fact because the main guy sees everybody as animals. He can't miss a face in a crowd. One of the twin brothers is good, one's bad. It all made sense. Yano raps, of course. I get it. And when
Otakawa was listing out, all right, this person knows this person works under this person. They were he was basically laying everything out. I think that was very important because the past few episodes is just all these different puzzle pieces. And like you were saying, I think this is finally the episode where everything is finally coming together. And now we have an idea of who, the primary antagonist is, which is basically Parappa the Rapper.
And his name is Yano, bro, and he raps whenever he speaks. I don't know why. It's so fucking anime.
I thought it was part of his Halloween costume or something. And then...
Yeah, I did too at first.
No,
it's not. He just
raps,
how he talks.
Bro.
That's just how
he raps. I don't know what it is. That's just how he speaks. The introduction of Yano this week on episode 7 of Odd Taxi just was an experience that you don't get often in anime, where it was just the anime whacked me upside the head and was like, this is what we're doing. And I was like, that's what I want to watch. That was it.
Did you know that his voice actor is an actual rapper?
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, I kind of dig that. I didn't realize that.
A rapper called Meteor.
Damn. Oh. It would have been awesome if it was one of the opening singers, actually.
Huh.
I don't think it is.
What'd you find out, David?
No, I thought that could be interesting. I don't know if he's involved with the opener or not the closing. Yeah, the closing is a female.
I don't know the name of that. It's a rap group that does the opening. I can't think of what they're called.
I think the song is called Odd Taxi.
It's called Odd Taxi because they made
Odd
it for the
Taxi,
show.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what the band is. Yeah.
Oh, Punky
I mean,
and Skirt. So
I can't-
not Meteor.
I can't say it enough. If for some reason the last time we talked about Odd Taxi on the podcast wasn't enough to convince you to freaking start the show, like, just hear us now. Like, just because they're animals, this show is a masterclass in dialogue, and it has seriously been one of the greatest, like, woven stories that I've been watching this season of anime. And you really, really invest in the characters as well. It's been awesome, and you have to get past it. It's like the animals are the aesthetic, that's like part of the aesthetic, and it adds to this vibrancy of the world that it's in. But like, there is no better written show on this season. Like, there, like, To Your Eternity is great, Tokyo Revenger is great, but the dialogue is just so great. Whoever's translating it is doing a great job. So shout out to Crunchyroll. The translation has felt really natural, and just the scripting has been awesome. It feels like a class TV drama wrapped up in like anime tropes and animals. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like Zootopia meets I don't know, what's that show called? Jesus Christ.
Like
You know that
NCIS? Kind
Yeah,
of,
or
I guess?
like Mad Men, like
Yeah.
like some sort of crazy drama, like
Yeah.
Mad Men meets Zootopia or something, and that's exactly what you get out of it, and it's really been a joy. Episode 4 is like one of my favorite episodes so far. It's like a vignette kind of side story, like leading up to what's going on in the main story that adds like another layer to the characters. It's really cool, and like Kenny said, episode 7 introduces Yano. We also get a really great scene where we just understand like Otokawa as a main character a lot better as he explains to little Daimyo like, what his plan and perspective is. And like, I have some weird theories, but Kenny has weird theories too about what's about to happen.
I've got a very weird theory.
Oh, what is it? What is it?
Okay, you heard it here first. I have not heard anybody speak of this because this episode came out like yesterday. Okay, this is my hard-earned theory that if it's true, I will look like a genius. Okay, I think Otokawa can see ghosts, and so the cat girl in his closet is not the living cat girl because her body was actually found this episode.
Yeah.
But her ghost that has been haunting him, trying to have him solve this case. It's her ghost in the closet.
It's really not a terrible, especially like there's been enough layers of like Otokawa has something wrong with him. He's got some sort of, facial
Brain,
recognition. Yep. His, there's something in his brain, blah, blah. It may not even be a real ghost. Maybe he's having like personality disorder. He's having some sort of like dissociative disorder that's making him think that he's talking to someone else. I'm thinking a lot about like Otokawa. They're clearly laying us for something that like Otokawa's. What was up with his leg cramp in this last episode? Too?
Yeah,
Like,
his foot just cramped up at night.
I was trying to figure out what was up with that. I was like, maybe he has gout. Maybe like me, he has gout.
I don't think it's that one theory.
He's like me.
Not that, but me and Otokawa, we both have gout. I'm the main character. No, but I just really love this show so far, and every episode has been a joy to watch. It's beautifully animated. It really has such a great aesthetic and style, and the voice actors have done a phenomenal job, and just a really fun series to watch. So,
yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
The voicing and the dialogue has been carrying the show, like
yes,
hands down.
Man, but yeah, he runs into Yano, bro, and he starts rapping at him. That was it. Like, that was it. I was just like, boom. Like,
honestly,
there goes my brain.
I can't
Like,
remember
favorite
half
character.
the shit. I can't remember like half the shit Yano said.
I don't know.
He was just like talking so fast
was
and
just
like
talking,
the
yeah.
dialogue was. I was like, "What's he saying? It was moral ambiguity, and now he's trying to make him say sorry, but he's gonna blow his brains out with a shotgun." I was like, "What? The fuck?" Yeah, it's a great show. It's a great show.
Is this going to have 12 episodes? Is this a 12 episode season?
I don't know actually. Check Mal.
Let me. Well,
What is Mal?
will live chart tell me?
My anime list, Kenny.
Check Mal.
Just check Mal.
Just check Mal.
Mal.
David, just check. David, just check Mal, dude.
Well,
just
well,
check Mal.
live chart,
13
live chart
episodes,
doesn't
bro.
know.
13.
13. Okay.
13.
13.
Oh wait, there's a link
David,
directly
13.
to Mal. That's crazy.
Look, David, it says right there on Mal. It says 13.
Oh, 13. Wow. I was on live chart and I clicked on the Mal button and it took me to Mal, and Mal tells me 13 episodes. So
it's right there.
It's crazy.
People
already scoring at 7.8.
Wrong. No, I don't know. 10 out of 10,
bro.
No,
Yano just got introduced, bro.
Yeah, wait for the season. I mean, we're only halfway through. You know, there's still.
Yeah, Yano just got
This
introduced.
is the halfway
I mean, there's
point,
still-
yeah.
We still have 8 through 13 to go, so this is going to be an exciting season, I think. Anything else about the other shows we're watching this season? David, didn't you say something about a show picking up?
No, fuck them shows.
Fuck them other show.
I mean, wait, a show picking up.
I thought you mentioned one the other day that you were really liking. Or
Yeah,
really digging
Super
on.
Cub, I think, is the one.
No.
So the shows that I've been religiously keeping up with, so 𝐻ٓ𝒩𝒩𝒯𝒜𝐼, that's kind of the same. It's not really picking up. Super Cub is the same, not really picking up. Tokyo Revengers has been like every episode's been picking up.
Maybe that's what we were talking about. Because
I love
Tokyo
Mikey,
Revengers.
bro. I love Mikey.
Young Mikey?
Mikey, baby.
shit.
Mikey.
The one thing I gotta say, like, what's up with the?
What? Bro?
Maybe I'm just picky, but like the animation is really like dropping. You know what I mean? Like
Because
I
they're
feel
gonna do the whole thing, bro. That's what I think.
I think they are gonna do the whole thing. I
They're
actually
just
agree
gonna
with
go
you.
indefinitely. Yeah.
And it seems like that's what's causing this, like the drop in animation quality of that show. Because the first episode was beautiful, and then it slowly sort of like drifted in this sort of like weekly anime look to it. That's like very stagnant. Some of the key scenes still look really nice. Like obviously the scene on top of the rooftop that I didn't watch this week's episode, but yeah, there's a couple still key scenes that I'm really enjoying that look really nice. But and the artwork is a cool style. Is that kind of how it is in the manga, Kenny? Or
yeah.
Wait, has this week's episode dropped yet? Does it come out on Fridays or Saturdays?
I think it comes out. Yeah.
I think one came out over the
I
weekend.
think it came out Friday.
Was Young Mikey the last episode, Kenny?
The one that I watched
Well, I'm
last,
not caught
David,
up on the
was
anime,
he's not
man.
caught up. The one that I last watched, David,
The manga.
the man. Okay, remember, guy jumps off top of the building. You watched that one?
Yeah. That was
The
like 2
episode
episodes
after
ago.
that. Okay, so then you're probably already watched this week's.
Okay, yeah.
Because the
This
one
episode,
after that,
they do some flashbacks.
Okay, yeah, because the episode that I just watched, he went back in time, and he was following around the two guys because he's trying to protect Draken from getting killed during the standoff that's about to happen. And so he follows him around, and he goes, Draken and Mikey go and visit the girl who got assaulted in the hospital, and her parents are there, and Mikey won't bow to them or like give them respect, but Draken's like,
Okay,
bro, put
then
your head
you're
down.
So you're an episode behind then.
Okay, yeah. So I have one.
That's the
I have
last thing you
one.
saw.
But yeah. So the next one won't come out till this upcoming weekend. That's what I'm saying. So
Correct.
Right.
I didn't watch last weekend's episode.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
But yeah, you have to. I think it's Friday or Saturday when it comes out. But
Yeah. I think So there isn't like a confirmed like set number of episodes that is for Tokyo Revengers.
nope, they just put a question mark on it. So yeah, it feels like they're just going to run through the whole show.
Which would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice. There's what 300 chapters or what, Ken?
200.
Only
205.
200.
Yep.
Okay. So maybe they can knock it out in like a year and a half, year and a half.
Maybe
And
like
if the manga wraps up, then it can just go right through.
maybe like
That's
a
pretty cool.
40, 50 episodes something season or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
see
it just
that.
depends.
Yeah.
Depends on how they decide to pace it and what they decide to do with it. But
Well-
okay, so another series that is like that. That's Kitty. Let's take a shot for Netflix jail. Shaman King.
Going out for Netflix jail, bro.
Shaman King, which is still in Netflix jail.
Rest in peace.
I want to talk about it briefly because many of you will probably be starting your Shaman King. Many of you listening will probably be experiencing Shaman King for the first time very soon. Okay? Some of you might remember the original series from when you were a kid. Some of you may have read the manga as a kid. Maybe you read the manga as an adult and you're an even older adult now. I don't know. Okay? I'm the person, Kenny and I both actually, when we were young, we watched Shaman King, the original 64 episode anime. We watched most of it on Foxbox, but didn't really ever make it to the end, or I don't really remember the ending, blah, 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 blah. You know, it was one of those shows that just was on. I was pretty into it as a kid, whatever. Kenny, I feel like me, you, and Mikey all liked it as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a popular anime show at the time. For years and years, I forgot about it, obviously, until they announced the remake. And I decided last year, once the remake got announced, I was like, you know what I want to do? I want to read the whole manga and to see how I feel about it. So around last like October or November, actually probably right around when we started the podcast, I started picking up the volumes and trying to read them. And I was trying to pick up the physicals and like actually read them that way. And it ended up getting too expensive around volume like 12 or 13. So I transitioned to reading it digitally, which you could read for free, or not for free. If you have Amazon Prime, it comes as a part of your Prime membership. So you can go on your Amazon account and add it to your Kindle without any additional charge. So if you would like to read all of Shaman King, volumes 1 through 35, you can add it onto your Kindle if you just have a Prime membership. So around like December or January, I started adding all the volumes onto Kindle using Kenny's Prime membership, actually, because I don't actually have Prime. And I started slowly getting through the rest of it. I still was trying to collect the singles. I ended up getting like through 17 volumes. And now Kodansha has actually started publishing omnibus volumes, so you could buy volume 1 through 3 physically in stores right now. So it's not the greatest reprint. They're a little tough to read just because of the size of the book, but the page quality is actually pretty nice. It is printed at normal manga book size. It's not bigger or anything like that, so you're still getting standard manga size. Looks but the imagery is cleaned up quite a bit compared to the original prints. I compared them myself. Pretty interesting stuff. Beside the point, I finally finished my Shaman King read through this week, which is like, it has taken me like 6 or 7 months to read all of this. It's only 300 chapters, so I really should have gotten through it a lot faster, but I just kept getting distracted, wanting to read other manga, blah, 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 blah.
If you were Alyssa, you would have read through all that in like a week.
Which Alyssa did.
Come on.
Just so you guys know, she did read all of that. She both started way after me and finished it before me, because she knew that I was reading it. So she decided to devour it on the side while I was, my wife reads manga like, she just finished all Black Clover in like 2 weeks. So she's caught up on that now. Which I'm like, God damn it, I'm only on like chapter 50.
I don't know how she does
and she also has been ingesting Vinland Saga over the last couple months too. Whatever, my wife's crazy. She just reads really fast compared to me. But I finished it finally. And I want to at least air a little bit of my thoughts. I'm going to try not to spoil it so that you can just kind of get yourself a little hype for when you finally get to watch the anime on Netflix. Which I would encourage you to wait till it comes on Netflix, okay? Shaman King is an incredibly well-themed series. It is one of the few shonen series that the theme of the series is not that battles lead to success, but that friendship leads to success, or that caring about people leads to success. It's about empathy and understanding versus fighting. Death, although an outcome of the series, right, because it's about summoning dead people, it is not used as... Death is by no means this like death is transcendent. Like people that are dead and alive, they're all still there in this series, you know, because it's not about the fights, not about the people you kill. It's about the relationships that you build. That's very different for a Shonen Jump manga that was running in 1997 or 8 or whenever it started, 99 maybe, right. Whatever. Very different. You don't get those sorts of themes at that time. This was like running with One Piece and shit, you know. Very different type of theming. So from the get-go, Shaman King feels different. And around chapter 40 or 50, you start to really realize how much the main character is not focused on beating the shit out of his opponents. And that becomes really important as the series goes on, because Takei wanted to voice the power of not fighting. And that was something he wanted to do with this series. One thing I think everyone has to be prepared for if you're going to be watching the new anime is that the manga had 2 endings. And the reason for that is that the author, Takei, Hiroyuki Takei, around near the end, he got really burnt out and he just quit. He literally just quit. So the manga was just abruptly ended. And I'm talking abrupt, guys. Like, I don't know. They'll handle it fine in the anime because he pretty much just he came back years later and wrote a continuation that gives it a true ending. But the original ending of the series is absolutely terrible. I mean, just to be honest. And it's terrible because it doesn't have an ending. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right, like... It's just like, okay, we're done, and then that's it.
Right. You're like in the middle of an arc, and you flip the next page, and it's like...
The end.
What? It's very confusing. But then the manga picks up. He added 15 additional chapters a couple years afterwards and wrote the real ending. And it's phenomenal. The real ending is really, really good. But that burnout transcends the back half of the series. I'll be up front. There's a lot of moments in the back half of the series that really struggle to get back on course and to talk about the theme and to get the message across. But I want to tell you that as a reader, don't give up on the series there. The first 200 or so chapters are some of my favorite shonen writing of all time. And the last 40 or 50 chapters are some of my favorite shonen writing of all time. But there's a chunk of about 60-ish chapters right there that are real rough. And it's going to get adapted into a really quick anime arc. But don't give up on the series when you get to that point. And I hope the anime does a little bit to adjust that a little bit. Maybe pace it up. Because one of the biggest issues was pacing at that part. He was just going a little slow. He didn't really know where he was going. And the story was not really working out. So I think that if the anime kind of does some condensing there, which it probably will because they're doing 300 chapters and 52 episodes, I think that we'll see a little bit of a renaissance, an evolvement of that arc.
Right.
Beside the point, Shaman King has solidified itself now that I've finished it. I think it's one of my favorite anime of all time. I think it's up there, I'm talking top 10 easily. Anime, manga, sorry, whatever. I'm going to watch the new anime and tell you how I feel about it. The old anime has its own ending, so, that version really is not definitive. The version to read is the 300 chapter version, and ignoring the original ending, the abrupt ending, and just reading through to the end. That's the version to read. But it's incredibly quality, and it's a series that definitely is overlooked. But you have to be ready for the fact that, there are tons of really cool fight scenes, battles. It's a shonen battle manga. But the theme and the purpose of this shonen battle manga is not to fight. And that's something you're going to have to prep yourself for as an audience member. I think if you liked Hunter x Hunter, you're going to like Shaman King, if that makes any sense. And not because Hunter x Hunter doesn't really have that theme of, not fighting, but Hunter x Hunter has a deeper psychological theme and is more about the characters. Shaman King's the same way. It's less about the fighting and it's more about the characters. And that's where you're going to have a good experience. But that's all I have to say about it. That was actually kind of a whole essay. But
are you going to be?
Do you think I spoiled it at all?
No. I don't think you did.
Okay, good.
Are you going to be reading the side stories too? Because he wrote a bunch of side stories after the ending,
Jesus
right?
Christ. Yeah, so brief rundown, if you do decide to read Shaman King, there are 18 additional volumes that you can read following the original series, okay? There's a 2-volume prequel series called Shaman King Zero. There's a 6-volume sequel series called Shaman King Flowers. And there's a 4-volume side story called Shaman King Red Crimson, okay? Those 3 are all completed. There are 3 Shaman King stories that are still running. Shaman King the Superstar, which already has 5 volumes out. It is still currently being published. It tells multiple side stories about multiple characters in the universe of Shaman King. You also have Shaman King Marcos, which has 2 volumes. It is a side story about Marco, which is a character in Shaman King, which you meet pretty late into the series. And then a brand new one called Shaman King and the Garden, which tells a prequel story about 3 of the villains in the series. They were witches that worked for Hao. And that one just started. It only has 2 chapters. So 2 or 3 chapters, something like that. So that one is brand new. So there are 3 currently running side stories and 3 completed side stories. My plan right now is to try out the 3 that are done and go ahead and read those. I mean, those 3, 2 of the 3 were drawn and written by Takei. So I think it's worth doing those ones at least. Red Crimson was not drawn by him, but the story was done by him, supposedly. I don't know if he wrote all the dialogue, but the story was done by him, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And then of the 3 that are still running, Superstar is also written and drawn by him, but Marco and a Garden, those are not drawn by him. They're just written by him. So that would mean that all these series, because he's written all the stories across all of it, are technically canon to the series. And I do plan to try to get through them in time, but it's really hard. You cannot get the only way to read them in English legally is to purchase them via ebook. And they're $8 to $10 a book. And that's just kind of expensive to own just an ebook. I don't know. Do you guys want to buy an ebook for $10? I don't know.
I'd rather have a physical at that point.
Right. If I'm going to spend $10, print me off a copy. Fuck. So I don't know. I have a little bit of hope that maybe if the series does well, but honestly, the reception of the omnibuses has been pretty negative. So I'm a little worried that the omnibuses won't sell well. And then because of our old friend Netflix jail, the hype behind the series has been a little bit pushed down. The hype behind the anime series, because American audiences can't read it. Can't watch it right now.
Yeah.
So I am a little worried that they're not going to publish those side stories in English. I want physicals personally.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to spend $10 to just read it once and then it sit in my computer still, you know?
Yeah.
That's a little disappointing because I would like to support the industry, and I know that by buying them digitally, it probably helps Kodansha to decide if they want to publish them physically. Like, does that make sense? Like, if I paid the $10 now, there might be a higher chance that they later go back and publish them. But I don't know. I'm torn. Again, it has easily joined my top 10 anime and manga of all time.
I think I don't know why Kodansha like, because those omnibuses are ugly, and that's probably the worst omnibus. Because like Full Metal, like there's a lot of omnibuses out there that are handled correctly. Like all the DBZ ones, the Dragon Ball ones are good. Right now, Full Metal ones are good.
Soul Eater
is great.
Vinland Saga.
Vinland Saga's great.
And those are both Kodansha publications. They're both omnibus format.
Well, no, the Soul Eater's Sega.
Square. Oh, it's Square Enix.
Or sorry, not Sega. Square Enix.
I think it's Square, right?
You're right. Yeah.
But no, Vinland Saga is Kodansha though. My bad. And yeah, I mean, I don't know why
not. It's oh no, you're right. You're right. It is Kodansha. I'm sorry.
Vinland's Kodansha.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit confused about why they opted to do. I got it right this time. I did miss on this Soul Eater, but I am confused a bit about why they opted for this style of omnibus, because it reminds me of like a Dark Horse omnibus, if anyone's familiar with them.
Yeah.
Their old omnibuses used to be in this format, but I don't know if this was just the cheapest way to get Shaman King out there. I don't know. Like, did they just think Shaman King wouldn't sell if it was in a premium format omnibus? Like, I'm not sure what they were going for.
Yeah.
If you're just trying to read the series for the first time, these omnibuses are not the best way to do it. They look better as a collector's item. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to buy them because I want to have them.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm probably not going to read them because it's like I'm afraid of like fucking up the spine.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you're a Prime member, David, you might as well just add them to your Kindle and read it that way.
Yeah, like, I've read the first 4 volumes on Kindle.
Yeah. So to me,
which is like past the first omnibus.
And the cool thing about the Kindle version is that you can like zoom in on the panels, and like it literally has it separated out panel by panel, which is super cool.
Yeah.
It's a really cool reading experience even on your phone, because it zooms into the panel for you, and then you can swipe panel to panel. It's like reading it live. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And so that's a way better reading experience than those omnibuses. But the singles were such a good. I loved reading the singles.
I think
the physical singles.
I think the combination of Netflix jail and poorly created omnibuses might fuck over Shaman King in the West.
Might kill
really
Shaman King.
Which really sucks.
I'm almost worried that Kodansha isn't going to finish printing the omnibuses, which will really piss me off. Just because, like, I'm afraid they'll cancel it. Like, they'll print 3 or 4, the sales will be too low, and they're just gonna be like, never mind, we're not gonna do the rest.
Yeah.
And that'll be a bummer.
The omnibus 2 is scheduled, I think, in June to release.
Yeah, 2, 3, and 4 are all like on the release schedule for this year, I think. So
okay.
They should, at least those will hopefully make it out. But there's gonna be, I think, 3 and 1, so there should be like 11 total. So, we'll see. We'll see if we make it all the way. Or wait. It should be like 11 or 12. But
welcome to the manga podcast where we talk about buying and collecting manga.
We promise we watch anime. We promise.
Welcome to the show about just hunting and collecting manga.
No. We're so much more than that. We promise.
For those of you that are in the anime community right now, you know that manga is taking off.
Manga is hot right now. It's
super hot. So it's important for us to talk about. You're right, though, Kenny. We'll wrap it up. Shaman King, if you want to try it, you should really give it a shot. The first 180 chapters are some of my favorite shonen storytelling of all time. So really give it a shot. And the ending, the true ending, I really like it. And I think it's a great ending to a series. The original ending is absolute dog shit, and I'm so happy that he came back and corrected it, because the original ending is legitimately one of the worst. Like, if I had been reading it at the time, I would have thrown a fit. Like, I can't believe he waited like 3 or 4 years or whatever to come back and write the real ending. If I was a fan of the series, I would probably shit in a bag and like light it on fire and put it on Takei's porch. Like, I would have been so pissed.
He was stressed out. He was stressed.
And I get it. He was stressed and he was burnt out and like, everything. And I get it. Like, he needed to take care of himself. So I really do feel bad. But like, that's just, it was such a bad ending, guys. Until the good ending. Then there was a good ending and you're like, oh, okay, whatever. Whew.
That's You know what? Since we're recommending manga, if you're listening to this podcast, which you are, you should check out the manga Claymore. It's amazing.
Oh my lord.
Claymore.
We'll talk about Claymore one day. We should do a Claymore episode. No, I'm just...
No. People will be like,
okay.
"What is this shit show? What is this?"
Now, I want to ask a question of you boys.
Yes.
Kenny, I want to hear from you first.
Hey.
The question is, are they making too much anime?
Answer. No.
No!
No.
No!
I mean,
They
is that
could
even
never.
a question? Like, is it possible for them to make too much anime?
I
No.
don't know, man.
I like
confused.
anime.
I like anime.
What is too much? 60
I don't know.
new series a season? 100
Do they
So
make-
let's
a season?
let's
Do they
give a
make too
shout
much
out here.
TV?
So
Do they make too much TV? No.
no,
They don't make
no.
too much anime. Just keep
No.
making it. I love it.
Okay, so the reason why I bring this question up is one of my favorite YouTubers. His name is Mother's Basement. He legitimately, like right before we started filming, posted a YouTube video called "Are They Making Too Much Anime?" I implore you to go check it out if you would like. I think it's a really interesting analysis of what the anime industry looks like right now, and also just how much it has evolved in the last 60, 70 years, right? Really interesting analysis, because I think if any of you listening are in the same boat as me, David, and Kenny, sometimes you open up your Crunchyroll or whatever, and you're like, holy shit, there's a lot of new anime out. You know, and you don't know how to pare it all down. You struggle to say like, oh yeah, this looks good, or that. You know, a lot of times,
Click it all. Like a drug, bro.
or like Kenny, you literally watch all 50 shows that come out every season.
No matter
but
how
it's like-
bad it looks.
Right.
Just watch it. Just watch it.
We've just learned in the last couple of years, and Kenny, David, I'm sure you guys remember, but well, David maybe not as much, but Kenny and I, you know, we've been watching for so long that like there used to be seasons where there would only be like 10 new shows.
Yeah.
You know, it was so much more manageable. There was no more, you know, you wouldn't get 5 new isekais and 12 new fantasies. Like, it'd be like one isekai, you know? And it would be so much easier to pare down, what am I going to watch this season? What am I actually going to watch? What am I going to invest in? And there was always this idea of, like, hype. Like, I mean, like, when a race dropped, right? What was that, 5 years ago, 6 years ago? That was, like, a hyped-up anime of the season.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can think of any others, but there have always been like hyped up seasonal animes. You know, there's always one or two that are like everybody sucks it off, like, and everybody on the YouTube talks about it.
I'm assuming like
But-
JoJo's and like Attack on Titan, like when those seasons
Oh,
dropped.
Titan was huge when it first dropped. Yeah, that was one of the major ones of that season. I remember because me and Kenny and our buddies watched it all together, right? Like while we were going to Acon that year.
Yeah.
So that was, Jesus, was that 2013?
2012. Yeah.
2012 or 2013?
Was
Something like that.
Haikyuu season 1 hyped up?
I don't think
yes.
so. I don't think it was that
I don't
high.
remember.
What's crazy is I didn't
Maybe
watch
not.
season 1 of Haikyuu until season 2 was already over. And the only reason I watched season 1 is because this manga reader down here kept bugging me to watch it. He was like,
I
"Oh,
like
dude, the
Haikyuu.
manga's so good, Jerry.
Like
it's
manga.
so good. It's about a volleyball player."
I like anime.
Kenny likes sports manga and anime the most. So anytime there's a new one and Kenny's like, "Watch it," I generally am like, "Fuck, okay, I got to give it a shot." Because Kenny knows about sports manga. And
I love
anime.
the sports manga anime. Y'all gotta watch
That's a good genre.
Blue, whenever Blue Lock
Blue
comes
Lock.
out.
Blue Lock.
Ooh.
Blue Lock. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe they. So in Jeff's video, in Mother's Basement's video, Kenny disconnects, and Kenny just disconnects, and he leaves us behind, and he lives in his own world. When we're filming, he just makes sure that he disconnects. If you are watching this video on YouTube, make sure to tag in the comments below the timestamp of when Kenny disconnected on this episode. Please timestamp Kenny's disconnect. Kenny, so in Jeff's video, Mother's Basement video, I didn't finish it all, so I'll have to watch the rest later, but he really talks a lot about how the industry is pumping it out for unethical reasons. They're pushing animators in ways they never have before. They're paying them less than they ever have before. The industries are relying on these animators to make this product that's just going to fill their pockets. It's literally $1 billion industry now, anime has become. And essentially in the last 11 years, 50% of all anime in existence has been made. So 50% of all anime in existence has come out in the last 11 years. So
That's crazy.
every anime before 2010 was only half of the anime that's been made. So 2010 to 2021 is half of all anime ever made, which is a crazy statistic. That just doesn't. That's like mind blowing to me, because those, I had a couple years in there where I was not watching as much anime, and I've gotten back into it over the last 3 or 4 years. But when I was in college, I was only keeping up with stuff that I was like really invested in, like Hunter x Hunter and One Piece.
Yeah.
It was only some of those major shows that I was sticking with, and I didn't really have time to watch any of the seasonal stuff. But that's when seasonal stuff started to really. And I did, like Titan when it came out, it was a big deal, so I watched it.
Yeah.
Sword Art Online when it came out, I watched it. There were some that I kept up with, but for the most part, But that's when all this anime was coming out. And I feel like I constantly discover a new show where it's like someone hyped it up that came out in like 2014, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, when did this come out?
Did you know that in the future nobody will ever hype up X-Arm? Like, I just know it. Nobody will ever return to
Don't
X-Arm.
get ahead of yourself.
XR season 2.
X-Arm.
How'd the opening song go?
I don't even know.
It was so catchy, dude. It was so
was.
catchy.
You're lying. It wasn't catchy.
No, the X-Arm opening was
X-Arm
so
opening was
catchy.
good, bro.
It was like an early 2000s, like it sounded like an early 2000s like emo punk band audio or something. I don't know. Whatever. So you guys don't think there's too much?
I think that
No.
No.
I think that there are more people that are watching anime than ever before. And so, in terms of there being too much anime to consume, I think that, for the most part, the majority of the shows will have like an audience to be watched by, because there's just so many people watching anime. In terms of how the animators and the animation studios are treating their animators, and in terms of compensation, all that stuff, if that's like true in terms of them being basically taken advantage of and giving them, not the salaries or wages that they deserve, that's kind of fucked up. That should be fixed. So, right. I'm not about that. I'm not for that. But in terms of, I don't think there's too much anime in terms of for there to be consumed, because there's like in today's age, there's like more people than ever before watching anime. Like in the last year alone, like especially with the pandemic, like people have been, locked in their homes. They're like, well, nothing else to do. Might as well just watch Naruto. Why not? And then they just fall
I've
down
had
the
so
rabbit
many
hole.
people. So many people have told me that in the last year they became a weeb. That's something I've like heard that said out loud. Like, yeah, in the last year I
Just
became
in
a
the last
weeb.
year.
No,
Just in this
David,
last year.
you've been watching anime since you were 14. I mean,
But
as much
like-
as you're not like you've
But
been deep diving it.
Since
But
the start of this podcast, though, I can say that I'm a hella weeb now compared to, because
Right.
I've
Yeah.
always watched anime, but like now
We know.
I'm fucking watching Song of Spider, so what, and loving it.
yeah, you're
So-
consistently
And
consuming
loving
anime.
it.
And loving
And
it.
loving it. Loving it.
He's loving the spider.
And
dude.
loving
love
it,
it.
Does
okay?
that make sense? I mean, yeah.
love
I
it.
mean,
He's loving it.
you were an easier sell, than most people. I feel like for most
Yeah.
people, like
No, yeah, you
They-
had a large anime background.
Yeah,
yeah, you at least used to watch anime not used to. I feel like we watched anime together all the way up until college, when we still would
Yeah.
watch anime together occasionally. So it's like
I was watching.
anime
I
is
was
still-
reading Beelzebub like while it was ongoing. And,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not-
and, like, Seven
you're a
Deadly
big
Sins.
Vampire Knight fan. I mean, come
you
on.
caught
Yeah.
up on One Piece when we were freshmen, didn't you? I feel like you caught
Yeah,
up freshman
I
year of
read
college,
from
right?
like chapter 1 all the way to
Yeah.
like, I think it was like in the 600s or 700s at that
Yep.
point.
I remember.
That's weird.
It was. I kept telling you, I was like, David, you got to do it, and you finally read it.
I was like, I won't watch it, but I'll read it.
Yeah, so that was, and that's so yeah. So clearly, you were an easier sell, but it's crazy to hear people say like, I hear people saying all the time, I didn't watch no anime until last year, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, how did you get through your adult life and not have watched anime? Like,
Yeah.
I just can't. It's almost hard to believe that you didn't consume something, right? Like,
Yeah, Dad
everything,
watches anime. Like,
all of TV was anime growing up. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if you turn on Foxbox in the morning, you were seeing Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z,
Ultimate Muscle.
yeah, Ultimate Muscle, Shaman King.
so
I mean,
weird.
those were all anime that were coming on just naturally on TV.
Yeah.
You turn over to Cartoon Network, and all of a sudden you've got a whole nighttime programming block of Naruto, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho,
Inuyasha.
Inuyasha, Cowboy Bebop, Trigun. That's when you get into the Adult Swim stuff. It's like it was constantly being. If you were watching cartoon channels as a kid, it's almost hard to at this point. And even now,
Yep.
go check out. I mean, I don't really watch regular TV anymore, but still, there are anime getting adapted and brought over. Toonami's back on TV again and runs every
Yeah.
Saturday on Cartoon Network. So
They
it's like,
actually are the only ones who have aired JoJo's in English.
and not that, but so many kids running around watching fucking Demon Slayer and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like clearly, and now I think anime is more a part of American culture than it's ever been.
Oh, absolutely.
I think now, and when we were kids, David, it was kind of like the weird kid thing to do, but now it's like normal kids do it. And I think that's actually allowed a lot of adults that maybe skipped out on it as kids to be like, maybe I will try that. Or you know what I mean? Like, but I agree with you that there's a bigger audience, but yeah, I think the bigger issue is like, if it were to improve the wages and working experience for animators, I think no one would be opposed to there being less anime. Do you know what I mean? Like, if less shows came out because it was able to improve the industry, I think that all anime fans would be on board. Like, we don't want them to just slop out schlock to try to make money off of us for whatever reason. And I get it. There's so many more fans now. They want to make more shows because it makes them more money. I mean, the world runs on greed.
Like X-Arm's a good example. Like if you read the X-Arm manga, the art is beautiful. The manga
really does
looks
look good.
amazing.
It looks good.
And so I don't know the backstory of, if X-Arm was like, we're crunching, we got 12 anime, we got room for one more, just X-Arm, just shit it out. Just get it out. So when it comes,
shit it out.
just shit it out, which they did.
There is a story behind X-Arm, actually. It was something about like a group of people who had only worked on like video games or something.
Yeah,
and
they had
wanted to
no
make
animation experience.
something like that.
Yeah.
And they were like, "We got this."
Yeah.
That's
So,
wild,
and this kind of goes back to like Shaman King. Like, if people who are handling these adaptations do a poor job, all it does is hurt that series. And so, if Shaman King's anime is not good, if the manga reprinting isn't, selling well, then those companies are just going to kill it, And so, which is sad because I'm sure X-Arm's story is great. I haven't read the manga. I'm sure Shaman King's is a great story. I haven't read all of Shaman King. And people don't really get to experience or won't be able to get to experience it the right way because of how the studios and like Kodansha, for example, is handling these stories. So
the choices that were made there,
yeah. So it's kind of a snowball effect on because I'm sure the people that created these stories, like Takei, like had some put some heart and passion into it. So
I mean, so much so that he almost burned himself out. You know what I mean? Like he absolutely was not taking care of himself because of how much work and effort he was putting into the series.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like, when you think about it, it's kind of sad to see, people's passion. Like people, like Oda spent the majority of his life, like making One Piece.
Jesus Christ. Do you ever think about that?
Yeah.
That man got out of college or whatever.
He was 19, right?
Started writing One Piece and he just hasn't stopped. He's just like, yeah, fuck. Do you
That's pretty fun, though.
I feel like George R.R. Martin needs to take a little lesson from Ichiro Oda. You know what I mean? Like, George R.R. Martin needs to get slapped in the face by Ichiro Oda.
He's out here, Martin.
Just like, don't
George
get
R. Martin's not careful,
don't sell your shit to Disney.
I'm about to say,
what if Oda sold his stuff? What if Oda sold One Piece to Disney?
Honestly, that would be crazy.
Disney will always come knocking.
They'll fuck it up. They would fuck it up.
Netflix already bought the rights. Netflix owns the rights to One Piece.
To One
now.
Piece?
Yeah. So Disney's
they're adapting it.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The live action, dude.
That's another thing too. Like, you don't even need to have like a Crunchyroll or Funimation account to watch anime. Like everyone, a majority of people have Netflix accounts. Netflix has like a pretty good selection of anime. Even some
they're investing more and more money.
Anime. Yeah. So if you're on Netflix all the time, I'm sure you're going to see like Bleach or Naruto, or just like a random anime. You might be like, okay, I might check it out, and that's like, you're hooked. So, I think I don't think there's too much anime, but I think what needs to be considered is, just these studios not shitting out anime, taking care of it, and taking care of their animators.
I agree.
Would you find that, Jerry?
Crazy. George R.R. Martin isn't even in the top best-selling authors of all time. Like on the Wikipedia page, he didn't even make the list.
Wow.
He didn't even make the list, bro. I'm surprised. Because, I thought for sure he'd be on the list, right?
Just
But-
like authors, like in general.
Yeah. Best-selling authors of all time. Best-selling fiction authors.
My
of
boy
all time.
Shakespeare.
Yeah, but if you look down to I believe he's number 12.
Ichiro Oda.
Yeah, Ichiro number
Sensei.
11. Ichiro Oda, number 11, best-selling author. Let me say this again, best-selling author of all time. He's the 11th best-selling author of all time. Woo.
That's crazy.
And honestly,
he
he's
could,
barely behind J.K. Rowling and Dr. Seuss.
he's gonna pass Dr.
Like,
Seuss easily.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Oda's about
And
to
Rowling easily.
overtake these. I mean, I feel like he's gonna smash him, which is crazy to me to think that like a mangaka is gonna be up in this area with like William Shakespeare and Agatha Christie. Like that's a weird. It's like like it's just weird to put him up.
There's also Akira Toriyama and Osamu Tezuka.
Yeah. Tezuka's the Godfather manga, obviously.
Yeah.
But Toriyama's Dragon Ball, and obviously he's also a very good, one of the best-selling authors as well. So no disrespect to them, they're great. They're great mangaka as well.
There's
Kishimoto.
There's a lot of mangakas on this.
Kishimoto is right next to J.R.R. Tolkien, the author of The Lord of the Rings. So there's that.
Wait, who's?
And honestly,
Mitsuru Adachi.
guys, Koyoharu Gotoge is on this list, I'm pretty sure, just from Demon Slayer this year. Like, this year alone propelled them to like the top 100.
Actually, she's
she's not listed on here, but she has sold over 150 million copies. So
Hajime Isayama's on here though.
This has just not been updated. Like,
yeah, this probably has been updated.
It needs to be updated because she outsold Kubo, and Kubo's on this list.
Yeah. Oh, then yeah, she should be on here.
Yeah, she recently outsold Kubo. So I think that's crazy. I mean, manga is just selling like hotcakes, and it's like the revitalization of books for some reason. Like, what the fuck is that's the only books? Did I tell the story on the podcast about Barnes and Noble? Did I tell that story?
I think we did, but tell it again just in case.
I don't think I did. I don't know. I actually don't know. So listen, the other day I walked into Barnes and Noble, and it is right by David and I.
No,
I
you
walked
did
in
tell
this
the story.
Did I tell it?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Well, I'm still dumbfounded by
All
it.
the manga
Check the last episode if you are listening and you don't remember
Yeah,
what Jerry
Jerry
said.
told the story.
Check
They
our
boxed
last
up all the
episode.
manga. They had to
You
ship it
didn't
out.
get a whole episode
Barnes
worth.
and Noble wasn't allowed to sell it at a discount because it sells too well at full price. It sells too, which that's crazy. I think my only thought about all this is that I think to an extent there might be too much anime, guys. No one really can consume the amount of anime. No one person can consume the amount of anime that's coming out every season, and it's just impossible. And any attempt to go through backlog, I feel like the three of us have a really broad understanding of anime, and there'll still be shows that we'll see come up, and none of us have heard of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even heard of it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's crazy because I feel like I at least put a little bit in my memory of like just about every show that comes out. Even if it's just barely knowing the title or like knowing the premise just slightly. So it's crazy for a show to pop up and me still be like, what the fuck is that? Like I've never even heard of that show.
Yeah.
And I realize it's just because there's so fucking much. Like there's just so much fucking anime. Like I don't know. So maybe there's too much. Maybe it just needs to be worked. I would love to see the industry not collapse, but like condense a little bit and really focus in on doing better, especially by their employees. But neither here nor there.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all we got.
Let's listen to the anime openings.
That's all we got to talk about today. So here's the dealio. I hope you guys enjoyed that part of the podcast. We always talk about news. We always talk about topics here on the podcast. We love it. But today we want to do something different. We want to try a little something different. ProZD, a very popular YouTuber, recently put out a video of him trying to guess the anime opening with his buddy. I believe his name is Jay. And so what we're going to do is, David, you're going to have to pause it because I don't want to hear ProZD and Jay's guess. I want us to try to guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what happens. But okay, we're going to try our best to listen to the songs, or we're going to watch ProZD's video here on the podcast.
Okay.
So if you're watching to this audio only, you'll still be able to hear it as we go along. So you'll be able to try to guess the anime openings with us. But in addition, if you're watching along, you'll be able to see ProZD's video as well. But let's do it. Kenny is going to win. Sorry.
I already watched the first 4, so I'm not going to guess on them. So
Kenny will not be competing on the
all
first
right.
4.
Yeah,
Kenny,
and
do they
there's
guess?
some-
Do
there's some
they
softball.
guess really quickly, or do they listen to it all
on
the
a
way through and
couple
then
of
they
them
guess?
they do.
Shit. Okay. So if
but
we
also you'll notice them just as quick. So
Okay.
All right, let's
Okay.
transition to that video.
Now.
Are you guys ready?
yep.
All right, here we go.
Yo, what up? I'm here with Jay, and we are going to be competing to see who can name anime openings
ProZD.
first just by listening to them.
Hey, skip forward a little
Anne
bit. Just to
Marie,
get to where
who's
Hey, you guys
off
ever
camera,
noticed that his
we'll
glasses
give
are like
Anne
this
Marie.
on his face?
Yeah, bro. It's pretty crazy.
Wait, so like,
Dude, I love.
Okay.
Wait, when does it start, Kenny?
Okay.
If
Three,
I'll say
Right
the
there.
loser,
It's in the
hates
bathroom.
anime.
They're about to-
What?
3, 2, 1.
Okay, I'm not gonna guess on this one.
Jared, did you?
Shit, I heard what he said, but I didn't know it. Is that
Right.
Death Parade?
I
It is.
I
This is
didn't know it
different.
either.
Oh, you got it.
Death Parade?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll also
See, that's a. I feel like that was a lot. I would have got that one quick.
Isn't that the first Death Parade opening?
Shut up. Nobody asked you.
Ooh, we know the name. Oh, I didn't know that.
1.
Smile bomb. Smile bomb.
You hockey
Smile bomb.
joke?
Oh,
I should know
I
this.
said it first!
Oh, I'm a disgrace.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a layup, bro.
1 point for me, baby.
That was a layup.
That was pretty
3,
easy.
That's the
2,
tough part. Like, I'm not in it for these ones.
Oh, right.
Oh,
You got it.
Oh,
they got it so fast.
They'll just edit
Oh,
it
you
so
gotta
they
be
don't
fast,
have
my
to
guy.
edit.
I'm just like, he just
I
puts
heard
a
it. I was
still
like,
image
this
of
is
my
gonna
mouth.
be.
Still free.
Okay. 3.
we hear that one all the time. I don't know this one.
Oh, this is.
Oh,
Tokyo Ghoul! Tokyo
Go,
Ghoul!
Unravel. Yeah.
I didn't even know what
got it. You got it.
I got it.
Fuck.
Okay, Kenny, now you're back in, right?
No, wait, I heard this one too. It was 2-2, I guess. I mean,
Do you know this one, David? This does not sound familiar to me. It's old. It's got to be from an old show.
What is this?
Wait, we get to guess.
It's like Astro Boy or something.
Cashern? Maybe.
Speed
Or maybe.
Racer? What is it?
No.
Oh,
Let's-
Oh, like
Oh, it's old
Gundam.
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 I have 1 point.
So
I
I
haven't,
have
I haven't
2
heard that one. I don't
points.
think.
I haven't watched any Gundam.
But I like anime.
Okay,
because
Kenny's
even if
in
I don't
now.
watch the anime, I will
Alright.
always
Yeah,
check them out.
that was the
'cause
last
I'm
one I listened
curious,
to, bro.
like, you know, are there good songs for them? There
I
are
do that too,
definitely
Jay.
good anime openings for bad shows.
Sure. Any
There
examples?
are.
X-Arm.
Sword Art.
XR.
Okay.
Don't get mad, people. Domestic
What's he?
Girlfriend.
Oh, Domestic Girlfriend is a great
Yeah, I
opening.
haven't seen
yeah, that is one of those ones.
I saw
Is it
one.
a
But
bad
it's actually,
show?
it's. I think it's
I don't
okay.
need to watch
Oh, well,
this. The
alright.
opening's great.
Do we want
Do you
to
like
talk
it,
about how
Kenny?
you've seen all of
The
Oriental?
opening, yeah.
I've only seen the first episode, honestly. So
You're gonna edit that
But
out,
I like
don't
the
edit
first
that out, so
episode.
you can't
It's in
really-
my watch list. I haven't seen it.
Great
Oh,
opening.
it's in
It's
this-
great
in David's
opening.
watch
list.
There- It's
oh,
Clarence.
David's never ending
Oh,
watch.
okay.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
That's not bad.
3, 2,
Okay.
1.
Oh, Hunter.
Damn, someone.
Kenny got it.
I thought you were
Kenny
a
said it
Hunter
first.
fan.
God damn.
I picked that one for you.
Da-da-da,
Look at
da-da-da-da.
him.
I didn't like
Hunter
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 Hunter.
2011, Kenny, not the OG Hunter Hunter.
Shut up. I got it first.
Departure.
It's Departure.
One Piece.
One Piece.
One Piece, damn.
I got it.
Someone
I
hates
beat
One
ProZD.
Damn.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
I don't know if we're keeping score, but I think I have 2.
Oh, Beast
Bacano.
Oh,
Oh, shit. No, that's Beastar. Shit,
Well,
you're right.
Ah,
similar to Bacano. You're right, though.
they're
Kenny.
so fast.
1.
Full Metal Panic
what's
Fumofu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Wow,
What the
that's
fuck?
old. That's
That was
Wow.
early 2000s.
That's the
deep cut.
title
That's a
too.
deep cut.
1.
Evangelion.
Shit.
Jesus.
He went quick, bro.
Yeah, he was faster than me.
He's so.
I know the opening. No, I like. It's
That one
really
was- well,
like,
that one is-
You heard the note faster than I did.
That was like note 1. You like
Yeah.
to say it, dude.
Nah.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ. You better shut up,
Brief
someone.
plug. ProZD plays games. You can watch me and Jay play video games. It's this energy. pretty
No,
much.
I don't wanna hear your
This
plug.
energy Pretty much.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, Digijo. We just watched that.
What?
Shut up.
Yeah, I know you guys are watching.
Wait, I've seen the manga for that.
I've heard of it. I've heard the manga too. I've just never watched the anime. What's it
3,
about,
2,
you
1.
think?
Titties.
Haruhi. Haruhi.
This is the opening to
Oh,
Harvey.
it's
I know you know
Haruhi.
this.
Yeah.
Damn, it's been years.
2, 1.
JoJo.
Oh, JoJo's
Jesus
I'm
Christ!
not
What?
that big
How are
of a
we
fan.
slower than Jay?
That's
but
part
we
so
beat
for two,
Jay.
right?
Yeah.
so bad.
JoJo's,
so
bro.
bad.
Jay? We
No,
can
Jay
beat
was
Jay.
quick
We're
on
better
that
than
one.
Jay.
I'm so bad.
I knew that one. I knew that one.
We all three knew that one. We
Yeah.
are all
Ask
simps
Queen
for
Beck.
JoJo's, and we lost on the JoJo's one.
3, 2.
Okay, here we go. Shh.
1.
Fullmetal Alchemist. I got that.
Oh my
you started
God.
it.
The
It's
first
the what?
opening.
The
Really?
first
Wait, Porter
Opening-
Graffiti did an opening for the
First-
original.
Opening to the OG Full Metal.
I
Yep.
guess so.
Oh,
Kimi no Se, Kimi no Se.
what is it, Kenny?
Thank you.
I'm glad you got that one because you'd have been disgraced.
I think I'm the only one who's watched. I think I'm the only one who's watched the Haikyuu anime.
My soul
I have.
was leaving my body.
All of it?
Season 1.
I picked that one.
You son of a
I was
bitch.
like,
No,
wait,
I'm
I know which one will make them suffer.
Kenny read the manga, so Kenny's like, "What's the manga opening?"
That's a Bunker Dio.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Oh, okay.
That's Sungwon's favorite anime. That's cheating.
Oh, is it really? Oh.
1.
This is a
Soul Eater.
Soul Eater.
Soul Eater. I got it before him. Fuck you, Jay.
I have 0. 0.
I-
He's one away.
I want to get at least one more. I just want 3 more.
3,
Oh
2,
my God. Okay.
1.
Deck.
Oh, Chihayafuru! Oh my god!
Oh, it's Chihayafuru.
My favorite
This is a deep cut.
That's it's another one of his favorite shows. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Wow, this
I'm
is
like,
so
he literally
cheating.
talked about Azumanga Daioh and Chihayafuru are both of someone's favorite shows.
I know it.
Look at him. Look at him.
I picked that one in case
He
you
went
both
monkey
got
brain
to
for a
that one.
second.
But no,
He's
he
like-
didn't, so I was like, well, I gotta play it
was like,
now.
my favorite show. Dude, what is he drinking?
What is that even about?
It was so familiar.
It's a romance,
Was
I
that
think.
season
1.
2? 1? Okay,
Season one,
okay.
yeah.
But it's the
Okay.
same artist for all.
It's like one of his
You guys
favorites,
gotta stop
though.
shaking the table.
No.
Well, you're okay.
they're
then
shaking
I'm
the
not gonna push the phone. Yeah.
Okay, 9 to 8.
Jay's head is a little cut off.
That's because he's
That's
a freak.
okay.
All
Okay,
right,
here we go,
9 to
boys.
9 to 8. Yes.
Why is he saying that so much?
2,
I
1.
know.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh
Brotherhood.
my God!
Brotherhood.
Brotherhood. Okay, Jay was very fast that time.
He's crazy.
Less than a second.
I love
Jay
anime.
was very fast.
Someone doesn't.
He loves anime. Someone doesn't.
Oh, hey, that was a well
At least you got Chihaya.
Sungwon, Jay, you
well
guys
thought.
both
You
did
got
better.
it.
than
Okay,
I
is
got
that?
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Is that
Yeah,
it?
both full.
It's crazy.
That wasn't
Well,
bad.
guys, I'm good at this. I swear.
I think I got the most. I think I beat the most.
We gotta have another competition.
I got 0.
We will bring the Name That Anime Challenge back. We just thought it'd be fun to see if we could beat Jay and Sungwon. Those were pretty easy ones, honestly, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say so. And like tailored for him.
Soul Eater, Full Metal Alchemist, One Piece. Those are ones that they come from pretty much everything. And yeah,
I love
they threw in
softball ones,
Azumanga Daioh, Azumanga Daioh and Chihayafuru, which are like his shows, as well as like the OG Mobile Suit Gundam opening. And what else did he have in there? He threw in some that were just Fumofu. I'm like,
Yeah.
why'd you throw Fum?
I haven't
mean,
heard of those.
I know all those shows, but I just hadn't seen the open. If I had seen the opening, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
We really want to do a full episode, but I think it'll be way more fun. And we're going to reveal this now. We've mentioned it maybe slightly on the podcast, but hopefully soon, me, Kenny, and David will not be squares on a computer screen.
Hopefully
we might
so.
be filming
Humans.
in person very soon, and we will hopefully be doing some more Name That Anime challenges for the channel. Maybe some short form ones that we might actually put up as short form, not full podcast episodes, because we would love to do some more of that stuff. Maybe some anime. What about anime quiz? You guys think you could do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I'm good at everything, bro. I know.
There's like a YouTube. There's a YouTube channel that makes like anime quizzes, and they're honestly like they're pretty fun. I think
Yeah.
so, but we could definitely play some of the anime quizzes and see how. I mean, Kenny could probably beat us at the quizzes. The animes, though, since Kenny only reads the manga, he doesn't know the openings all the time.
That is true. That is very true.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like Haikyuu.
maybe we can implement some kind of like different, weekly anime challenges. Or
Right.
like some
If you guys have any ideas in the comments of fun stuff that you might think would be a blast to see us compete in, definitely let us know. And we might even bring on our old buddy, the Dark Sage, to maybe compete, because he
Play.
would love to play some of these games with us, I bet. So we'll see if we can get him back
Absolutely.
on for another episode. But all right, y'all. Anything
I don't
else
have
you want to
anything
cover?
No.
Hey,
I tried
if
to
you're
preempt for
listening,
that time, David.
If you're listening, don't sleep on Super Cub. If you want some wholesome content,
Nope, don't.
watch
Okay.
you some Super Cub. That's all I gotta say.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Well, thanks so much to everybody for listening this week. We're so grateful for all of you who have shown us your support, shown us your love, all that great stuff. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff because it helps the channel to grow, helps our podcast to grow. You can also go and like us over on all of your different favorite listening platforms. So whether you want to go give us a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts, or you want to hit us up with a follow over on Spotify, both those will be super helpful. We always upload our audio-only versions within about 24 to 48 hours after we put them up on YouTube. Sometimes faster, sometimes a little later. Just depends. So if you prefer audio-only, definitely check us out over there as well. We're really grateful. Follow us on Instagram. We're going to be hopefully doing a couple more giveaways soon. I actually almost bought a Gundam the other day just to give away. So if you want to enter our giveaways, no one ever enters. No, it's kind of a running gag that no one enters, but I think eventually people are going to start entering and then it won't be a gag. Beside the point, are we still giving away that thing behind you, Kenny, or what are we doing?
Yes, bro. But I mean, we mentioned it last episode. And we haven't.
Last episode, we mentioned it in the beginning of the episode. So
Yeah.
this episode, we're mentioning it again here. If you want to enter to win that Nedgerate, it's super easy. Shoot us a message over on Instagram, and that will enter you for a chance to potentially win that Nedgerate Funko Pop. We were going to give it away to our buddy who actually did messages about it, but turns out he actually got it himself for retail. So he does not need to win it. He wants to make sure it goes to someone who does not have the pop. So really kind of him to pass on that. AJ, good old Awakened to Sage. So definitely shoot us a message if you want that Nedgerate pop. And yeah, other than that, guys, thanks so much. We're a big fan of you. This is the Uncensored Anime Podcast, guys, and we are saying peace.